everyone, and welcome back to the Cup of Joe show. I'm Joe. That's Jeremy. We're here to talk movies. Although we haven't seen one, we're going to talk. Let's talk some. Let me give you a quick wrap up of. Remember how I teased that I saw Woman in Gold last week? Well, this week, you're going to hear about it. So, this movie stars Helen Mirren, Ryan Reynolds, and Daniel Bruhl. It is a movie about a woman who's trying to get back a painting that is in her family that was taken from her by the Nazis. And actually, I guess the interesting thing about this is it's kind of also a movie about Ryan Reynolds' character, in the fact that I believe it was a book written by the lawyer, Ryan Reynolds' character, so you really think that the whole movie, which a lot of it is about Helen Mirren's character trying to get her painting back, but interestingly enough, the movie is half about Ryan Reynolds as well, and it actually reaches a point where Ryan Reynolds is the one who is pushing for this court case, interestingly enough, even more than Helen Mirren is. So I guess I wouldn't call that a twist, but that's a little tidbit that I could give you. I really liked this movie. I've now started a streak of movies that I've cried at in theaters. The last two, Furious 7 and Woman in Gold. We'll see what happens with the next one. I don't know. But this is a very solid movie. The thing that the thing that I didn't like about it was that it really tried to cram too much into too little of a film. I don't even think this film hit 2 hours in length, and there's really so much more to tell with all the flashbacks and the character building, and they did the best they could with the time frame that they had. So my issue with it is that it should have been a little longer. There's also been a streak of movies that should have been a little longer. Not Furious 7, but I recently saw Divergent, or Divergent, however you want to say it. I don't know.
Divergent.
Yeah, Divergent. It appears that this series has settled on Divergent, so we'll go with that. But we won't talk about that because that didn't just come out. But other than that, I really would suggest seeing Woman in Gold. It was a very good movie that didn't have a long enough run time to be able to tell the story in full as I think it could have done. You give it another half hour. Although, I don't know, maybe we're the crazy ones who want to actually go to the movies to experience a full movie. But I don't know. That's up to you guys. I'm just telling you. Telling you how it is. Woman in Gold. Daniel Bruhl. Go for it. Alright, the other piece of news that we're going to talk about, I would say it's probably the most interesting of the week, would be the first image of, well, actually it's the second image of Jared Leto as the Joker. Jeremy, tell us, what do you think about the image? Well, explain the image, I guess, to people who haven't seen it.
Okay, well, it's Jared Leto as the Joker, and he has, as you would expect, the typical, whiteness to him in the face and everything, and he has the green hair and all that. What separates this Joker from a lot of previous incarnations, he's quite tatted up, actually, which is interesting. Other than that, I mean, it seems to be largely in line with most interpretations of the Joker. He's got, his mouth is open. He has really gnarly teeth, and he seems really, really crazy, which is what the Joker is. He's psychotic and all. So, they really had to do something to distance themselves from the Heath Ledger interpretation and everything, and I think they're they're going in that route. So, judging by this image and from what I've heard, it really seems like they're going to play up like just how insane and psychotic the Joker is, which I think is probably a good move because they have to do something different, and it'll be interesting to see the Joker be all crazy and evil. To an extent that you could never really see, like on Batman the animated series or something. So it'll be interesting to see that kind of take on things. And I like Jared Leto or Leto or however you say his last name. I like him as an actor, and I'm looking forward to seeing his portrayal.
You love him and you don't even know how to pronounce his last name. My God, he'll be disappointed. He'll be disappointed. I have gone with Leto. I'm going to continue to go with that.
Sure.
Until he's a really good actor, and I think he's definitely a good choice for this role. And the images look good. It's interesting, the DC's. DC's strategy is to just put out like every image of their characters, which is I don't know, it's getting kind of humorous now, because they're just so far behind that they just have to put out like everything that kind of comes out, and I'll be honest, the image looks good, but it's a picture, it's a picture. Quick, snap this. Joker, right there. You don't know. I could be a better Joker than Jared Leto by that image. I don't know. I look awful, but I don't know.
And in fairness, the image that they released of Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, like that image looked good.
Right.
He looked kind of intimidating, but you need to hear the voice. You need to see it in motion.
Right, right.
The image can only do so much.
Absolutely. So I just think that's DC's biggest problem, is that they're just so far behind that you have to sell us with the movies. You can't sell us. You got to turn us around. Unfortunately, Man of Steel didn't do that in general. I liked Man of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was very good. You do have the Dark Knight trilogy, but that's not a part of this universe. That's not your cinematic universe. So that's gone. That's on the back burner. Right now, you have Man of Steel, and that's all you have. And you didn't win audiences over with that movie. As much as am I speaking for you and saying that you like that movie? Is that
I like Man of Steel.
Right, it's a solid movie, and
I think it's 7.
Yeah, it puts them in the right direction. But it's done. It was no Dark Knight. It's no Iron Man. It's not the like starter to these universes, and it's just not. We need to see this movie. I'm moving to Dawn of Justice now. This movie it's got to be good, and if it's really good, then we're in. So I think they will do their due diligence. As much as I love to make fun of Zack Snyder, I love Zack Snyder. I think he is a great director. I think his only misstep is Sucker Punch. Unless I'm missing another one, I really think his only pure misstep is Sucker Punch, and I still enjoy that movie.
That owl movie?
Yeah, could be. I don't know. I've true. I've never seen it though. I can't really speak on it,
true.
But it probably was. It looked cool though. Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited. You excited for this to see this DC universe?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as long as it's good.
As long as it's good, and it really has to be. They need to get this movie out. Maybe if they put it out this year, like they promised, the release date is 2015. No, it's 2016 in May. Oh wait, that's the same day that Civil War comes out. We have to move it up to March. Who knows? This movie may not even come out in March 2016. It might come out tomorrow for some reason. There's Batman v Superman. You'll go to the theater and it'll just be there. Anyway, that was a longer rant. In very short and uninteresting news, Fast and Furious 8 got the green light. But it's made more than $1 billion, so of course it did. But I just want to say very quickly, to people who would say this is disrespectful to Paul Walker, it's not. It's disrespectful to cancel the series that made him famous, to stop it after his death. I mean, and that's that's the only thoughts I have on this. Other than that, it's obviously going to have a sequel. It's like made more than $1 billion. What's it, 1.4 at this point, or where is it at?
I think it's at like 1.2. It's headed for like 1.4.
Okay, so it's headed. All right. So I mean, that's all I want to say is that this is not disrespectful to Paul Walker. To people who would say that, these people are not. I mean, they are greedy, yes, but like this is not, I don't think this is disrespectful at all to Paul Walker. I think it's honoring him to continue this series that he's built his career on. To be honest, do you have any thoughts in general?
No, I totally agree. You know, this is the house that Paul built, and it's only fair to keep adding to it. You know, and it doesn't hurt that it's making a lot of money. And I mean, financially, I think Furious 7 will be the peak of the franchise.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think it'll ever get up to these heights again. But you know, even if the next one falls short, it could still make, you know, 900 million, $1 billion. So they're still gonna be making a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Unless, like, for some reason they have to fight Batman and Superman, and they combine universes. I don't know. Then it could do better than Furious 7, but
Well, apparently the Men in Black and 21 Jump Street crossover still might happen.
Oh, so. Really? It still might happen. Wow. Oh man, I hope it does so we can talk about it. But yeah, I think you just said the tagline. This is the house that Paul built. Boom. Furious 8. I mean, I don't know. FF8. I don't know what else they could do. I don't know what else they could do. The 8th one. There. Alright. Anyway. Get to that box office.
Right.
Before I say something else really dumb. Quickly.
Alright. Last week it wasn't really very interesting at all, so I'm probably going to kind of breeze through this. Number 5 was The Longest Ride. That fell 46%, $7 million. Has a total of 23.7.
Its ride has been pretty short, actually.
Oh. Fourth place we had Home, and that fell 43% to 10.6 million. Has a total of 142.9. Yeah, it seems headed for around 160, 165-ish. Third place we had Unfriended, and that opened to 15.9 million. That's slightly better than the average horror movie, but I kind of thought that this one might break out a little, given you know, the novelty of the concept and the surprisingly good reviews. I thought maybe it could get over 20, but interestingly enough, it actually seems like audiences aren't really liking it, which is weird that critics would like a horror movie and, you know, the audience wouldn't, but
maybe they were all expecting like what we were expecting, for it to be awful fun, and then it was actually just good.
Could be.
I don't know.
Could be. So number 2 was Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, and that opened to 23.8 million. It's about 7 or 8 million lower than the first Paul Blart, so you know that's good to see. And again, the first Paul Blart actually had like really, really good legs. I don't think this one will have, you know, anything near that. So, you know, I would say maybe 75, 80 million best case scenario, which is still too much, but it's still pleasing to see that it's, you know, making quite a bit less than the first one. Our number 1 movie, once again, was Furious 7. That fell 51% to 29.2 million, and has a total of 294.5 million. Yeah, as we were getting into earlier, worldwide it's already over $1 billion. Domestically, it looks headed for about 350-ish. So, you know, it's just a monstrosity. It's incredible.
Yeah. Do you think Frozen is protected though? What do you think?
Oh, Fury
And
7's got it.
It's got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got top 5. Fury 7 is actually not going to be that far away from the Avengers worldwide.
Yeah, and, well, don't worry. Wait till Frozen 2 when they have to fight Batman and Superman. I am pitching ideas here.
They could
people.
fight the Avengers. Technically, they
They
could.
can.
It's all owned by Disney. They could add Elsa to the Avengers.
That is true. And yeah, I guess the most disappointing is Paul Blart Mall Cop. Although it did make less, I feel like it still did make a good chunk of money. 24 million? Let's just say that, well, approximately 24 million. So let's just say that ticket prices are $10 a person. So that means 2.4 million people saw that movie domestically.
Yeah, something like that.
That's sad. That's sad, considering the last time I checked, this had a 0% at Rotten Tomatoes. It's awful when movies are in the single digits.
Yeah.
Not a one critic gave it a positive rating. Not a one critic, as I've learned, when you give a movie a 3 out of 5, I guess I could be wrong on this, but my understanding of Rotten Tomatoes is they rate things on 3 out of 5, 5 stars, and if you give it a 3 out of 5, that is a fresh rating, because it's 60% as the, well, it's not a fresh rating, but it's like a ripe rating, if you will. It's a positive rating. So not even a one critic gave it a 3 out of 5. Why? Just why? There's no chance for a sequel, right? Tell me there's no chance for a sequel. Okay.
I hope not.
All right. Other than that, I mean, I think Home has done very well for itself, although I struggle to believe that actually was a good movie. I didn't see it, so I can't really judge it. Yeah, other than that, Unfriended is going to do fine, because it probably costs like $10 to make.
Yeah.
We could have made that movie, like, right now, just been like, oh, God. Like, boop, boop. That's it. Why were you a bully? That's it. But, anyway. Get a blender. Anyway. So, some movies coming out this weekend. Let's get into the more interesting one, I think, which is the wide release of Ex Machina. Which is how I believe you pronounce it, right? Yeah. Good. Because I was going to keep pronouncing it that way anyway, because it's so much more fun. This is the same studio that brought you A Most Violent Year last year, and I really liked that film. And this also has Oscar Isaac. Is it Isaacs or Isaacs? We established this like a week ago.
Sure it's Isaac.
Okay, so Oscar Isaac. He is very good. I mean, the premise looks interesting. I mean, it really does. It looks good.
Yeah, I always like movies of this ilk that explore, the nature of artificial intelligence and how, that would interact with humans and all that kind of stuff. And, maybe she'll go crazy and start killing people. Maybe it'll just be a surreal mind trip. So, I don't know. But regardless, I'm definitely intrigued by Ex Machina.
As long as it's nothing like AI.
I've never seen it.
That movie is terrible. Anyway, there's also Age of Adeline. This seems like your typical run-of-the-mill movie that's been done before. The woman who can't age. But I'll give it this. Blake Lively, I think, is a very good actress, actually. And she's beautiful. You have Harrison Ford in this. You have someone I can't think of. But like you do have talent in this film. Although it seems typical, you do have talent, which could make you lean to go see it. Honestly, I don't. I'm not going to, but I wouldn't really tell people to shy away because I really think there's talent. There's talent there.
Yeah. Age of Adeline will probably make about 12 to 15 million this weekend.
And be forgotten. But it won't age. That was a dumb joke to end the show, but that's all we got. Bye.